Once upon a time, in a busy city, there lived a 26-year-old young man named Daniel. Daniel was very stressed. His mind was always noisy. All day long, different worries came and went. These worries made him feel anxious and tired. He couldn't focus on his work. He couldn't relax at home. He couldn't sleep well at night. Even when he tried to rest, his mind kept thinking. Past mistakes, future problems, what people said, what might happen tomorrow. His mind never stopped. Daniel felt exhausted. He felt overwhelmed. He felt like he was carrying a heavy weight on his shoulders all the time. He thought, I need peace. But where can I find it? One day, Daniel made a decision. He thought, the city is too noisy. That's why I cannot find peace. If I go to a quiet place, then I will finally be calm. Then I will finally be happy. Daniel packed his bag and left the city. He traveled for many hours. He took a bus to the mountains. He climbed hills and walked through valleys. Finally, after 2 days of traveling, he reached a beautiful mountain forest. The forest was magnificent. Tall trees stood everywhere. Green leaves covered the sky. Sunlight came through the branches. Daniel looked around and smiled. This is it, he thought. This is the peaceful place I was looking for. Here there is no noise. Here I will finally find peace. He found a quiet spot under a big tree. He sat down. He closed his eyes. He took a deep breath. Finally, whispered, peace. But then he heard something. Birds were chirping in the trees, loudly, very loudly. Their songs filled the air. Then he heard the wind. It blew through the trees, making the leaves rustle. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. The sound was constant. Daniel opened his eyes, frustrated. Even here, there is noise, he said. How can I find peace with all this noise? He stood up, disappointed. This place is not peaceful enough. I need to find somewhere quieter. So Daniel left the forest. He traveled again. This time, he went to the beach. The ocean is calm, he thought. By the water, I will find peace. He reached the beach after a long journey. The beach was beautiful. Blue water stretched to the horizon. Golden sun covered the shore. Daniel walked on the sand and felt hopeful. This is better, he thought. Here, I will find peace. He sat on the sand away from people. He closed his eyes again. He listened. But what did he hear? Waves crashing again and again. Splash, splash, splash. The sound never stopped. Then he heard seagulls calling in the sky, loud, sharp calls. Then he heard other people talking, children playing, and music playing from somewhere far away. Daniel felt even more frustrated now. He stood up and shouted at the ocean. Why? Why is there noise everywhere? Where can I find peace? A fisherman nearby heard him and laughed. Young man, he said, you are looking for peace in the wrong places. Daniel looked at him confused. What do you mean? The fisherman smiled. Go to the marketplace in the next village. There you will find a monk. He can teach you what you need to learn. Daniel didn't understand, but he was desperate, so he decided to go. Daniel traveled to the village. When he arrived, he saw a busy marketplace. It was the noisiest place he had ever seen. People were shouting. Fresh fish, buy here. Vegetables, best prices. Children were running and laughing. Dogs were barking. Carts were moving with loud, squeaky wheels. Everywhere there was chaos. Daniel thought, the fisherman was joking. How can anyone find peace in this terrible place? But then he saw something strange. In the middle of all this noise, under a small tree, an old monk was sitting. His legs were crossed. His hands were resting on his knees. His eyes were closed. And his face? His face was completely calm, completely peaceful, as if he was sitting in the quietest place in the world. Daniel was amazed. He walked closer. He stood in front of the monk, watching. The marketplace was still noisy. People were still shouting. Dogs were still barking. But the monk sat like a rock in the middle of a storm. Nothing disturbed him. Finally, Daniel spoke. "Grandfather," he said softly. The old monk slowly opened his eyes. He looked at Daniel and smiled gently. "Yes, my child." Daniel sat down in front of him. "Grandfather, I have a question. I have been searching for peace. I went to the mountains, but there were birds and wind. I went to the beach, but there were waves and seagulls. Everywhere I go, there is noise. I cannot find peace anywhere." He looked around at the noisy marketplace. "But you sit here, in the middle of all this chaos, and you look perfectly peaceful. How? Please, teach me your secret. How can you be calm in such a noisy place?" The old monk looked at Daniel with kind eyes. He said, "My child, tell me, how long have you been searching for peace?" "Many months." Daniel replied, "I have traveled far. I have tried everything." The monk nodded. "And where have you been looking for peace?" "In quiet places," Daniel answered. "In forests, beaches, anywhere without noise." The monk smiled. "That is your mistake." Daniel looked confused. "Mistake? But isn't peace found in quiet places?" The monk shook his head slowly. "No, my child. Peace is not found in quiet places. Peace is not outside. Peace is inside. Always. It was inside you even when you were in the city. It was inside you in the forest. It was inside you at the beach. And it is inside you now, here in this noisy marketplace." Daniel frowned. "But grandfather, how can I feel peaceful when everything around me is noisy?" The monk said, "Come, sit beside me. I will show you." Daniel sat down next to the monk, facing the busy marketplace. The monk said, "Close your eyes." Daniel closed his eyes. "Now," the monk said, "tell me what you hear." Daniel listened. "I hear people shouting, children running, dogs barking, carts moving. Everything is so loud, grandfather. How can I find peace like this?" The monk said calmly, "You are listening to the noise. That is the problem. Now I want you to do something different. Forget the marketplace. Forget the sounds outside. Listen only to your breath. Feel the air moving in through your nose. Feel it moving out. That's all. Nothing else, just your breath." Daniel tried. He focused on his breathing. In, out, in, out. But his mind kept jumping to the sounds around him. A child laughed loudly. His attention went there. A dog barked. His attention went there. Someone shouted. His attention went there. "Grandfather," Daniel said, opening his eyes, "I cannot do it. The noise keeps pulling my attention." The monk smiled patiently. "Of course it does. Your mind is not trained. Your mind is like a wild horse. It runs everywhere, but with practice you can train it. Try again. This time, when your mind goes to a sound, gently bring it back to your breath. No fighting, no forcing, just gently, like guiding a child." Daniel closed his eyes again. He tried. In, out. A sound came. His mind went there, but this time he gently brought his attention back. In, out. Another sound came. Again he brought his attention back. Slowly, slowly his focus became stronger. Minutes passed. 5 minutes. 10 minutes. The marketplace was still noisy. Nothing had changed outside. But inside? Inside Daniel's mind, something was shifting. The sounds were still there, but they stopped bothering him. They became like background music, present, but not disturbing. When Daniel finally opened his eyes, he felt different. He felt lighter, calmer. The marketplace was still noisy, but somehow it didn't bother him anymore. The monk looked at him and asked, "Tell me, my child, is the marketplace quieter now?" Daniel listened to the sounds around him. People were still shouting, children were still playing, dogs were still barking. "No, grandfather," he said. "The marketplace is still noisy. Nothing changed." "Then what changed?" the monk asked with a gentle smile. Daniel thought for a moment. Then understanding came to his eyes. "I changed. The noise didn't change, but I changed. My mind became quiet inside. even though the outside was still loud. The monk nodded, pleased. Yes, that is the truth. That is the secret. You spent months searching for peace outside. You went to mountains, you went to beaches, you ran away from cities. You thought, if I find a quiet place, then I will have peace. But that is not how peace works. He placed his hand on Daniel's chest, over his heart. Peace is not out there, he said. Peace is here, inside you, always. It never left. You just forgot it was there. Daniel's eyes filled with tears. But grandfather, I didn't know. I thought peace comes from a quiet environment. The monk said, many people think like you. They believe, if my life is calm, then I will be peaceful. If people stop bothering me, then I will be peaceful. If my problems go away, then I will be peaceful. But they are looking in the wrong direction. He pointed to the busy marketplace. Look at this place. So much noise, so much chaos. A person with an anxious mind would suffer here. They would feel overwhelmed. They would run away, looking for somewhere quieter. But a person with a peaceful mind, they can sit here and feel calm. They can sit anywhere and feel calm. So, Daniel said slowly, it's not about changing the world. It's about changing myself. Exactly. The monk said, the world will always have noise. Life will always be busy. People will always be loud. Problems will always come. You cannot control the outside, but you can control the inside. You can train your mind. You can create peace within yourself. Daniel stayed with the monk for several days. Every day they practiced together. Sometimes they meditated in the marketplace, sometimes in the forest, sometimes by the beach. And Daniel learned something beautiful. Peace is not about where you are. Peace is about who you are inside. Before, he thought the birds in the forest were disturbing. Now he understood. The birds were just singing. He was the one who called it noise. Before, he thought the waves at the beach were too loud. Now he understood. The waves were just being waves. He was the one who called them disturbing. Everything outside was just being itself. It was his mind that labeled things as good or bad, peaceful or noisy. When it was time to leave, Daniel bowed deeply to the monk. Thank you, grandfather. You taught me the most important lesson of my life. The monk smiled. Remember, my child, peace is not something to find. Peace is something to create inside your own heart. Carry it with you. Wherever you go, whatever happens, your peace goes with you. Daniel returned to his city. The city was still noisy. Traffic still made loud sounds. People still shouted. But now, Daniel could sit in his apartment and feel calm. He could walk on busy streets and feel peaceful, because now he knew the secret. Peace comes from within, not from without. If you liked this story, please give it a like and share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more inspiring stories like this one. Thank you for staying with us. See you in the next story with new thoughts and new lessons. Until then, stay peaceful and stay calm.